Hi, welcome to the Law Abiding American. My name is Bill. Today I'm going to do the final part in why we need better drivers. I keep seeing it worse and worse and worse out there every time I have to get out and drive. And it is a problem. But it's a problem that I don't understand. It just seems like our lawmakers really don't care about it. Because they're not actually passing laws that are going to benefit making our roads safer. They're going after laws that actually make them less safe. And so I wanted to talk about some solutions on this and a new bill that is being put out by Representative Quang Nguyen. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And this is regarding Bill HB 2786. And what this bill is going to do is it's going to make it where drivers can put a device in their vehicle that limits how fast they can go. I've talked about this before, but that is not a good thing because there isn't a road in Arizona that nobody doesn't speed on. Everybody drives over the speed limit. So you don't want that kind of technology being put in vehicles just so somebody who doesn't obey the law can drive. If they're not obeying the law, hey, driving is not a right, it's a privilege. So if they're not going to follow the laws, they don't need to be driving, plain and simple. Now, I know in today's society, that would make it a hardship. Well, if you can't do the time, don't break the law. As simple as that. Now, I've noticed too that a lot of people are wanting to add cameras in. Well, you got drivers all over this state that have dash cams. So I'm thinking a nice solution would be to set up a website or a web address where people can submit videos of people running stop signs and red lights and making illegal right turns because they fail to stop. Now, because under the First Amendment, people can record in public. Okay? So why not make it so they can use their dash cams to start submitting video of cars doing this? It's no different than your speed cameras or your red light cameras or anything like that. But it is legal for us to do this. We can submit it. You make the decision on whether you want to pursue it or not. Because, to be quite honest, it's not just the citizens out there. I noticed police officers, they're slowing down, but they are not coming to complete stops and making right-hand turns. What are you going to do? You got to stop it. These laws are there for a reason. Now, another thing that I think we really need to push for is lane sharing on the freeway, especially during the rush hours, because you are putting motorcyclists in danger because they cannot get through these cars. Okay? And when you're getting traffic going 5, 10 miles an hour, sometimes I'm even down to 1, 2 miles an hour. That's ridiculous. And in all truth, there shouldn't even be a traffic jam if people were driving correctly. But all it takes is just a few people not driving right. There's a traffic jam. We're all done. It's because people can't drive right. So, in closing, we really need to start thinking about the laws that are being put out there that they say are making our roads safer, but really aren't. For example, you have Bill SB 1567. We need to get that rescinded because that deals with children or kids being able to drive off-road vehicles. That ability to do that will make them safer drivers when they get to the street. Now, as I said personally in my last video, if I had young children, that would be a law I would break because I want my kids to be as safe as possible when they get to the street. I want them to be able to drive. I want situations that may arise to be second nature on how to handle it. And so, what do? Get rid of these laws that hurt us. Now, one last thing before I go here. I haven't heard much about it. It's called Street Takeovers, where a bunch of kids would get together and they start doing donuts and all kinds of stuff. And I do agree that that is wrong. It should not happen. But it is something that, like anything else, you're not going to stop. So what would be a good solution for this? Well, they passed a law that says, okay, we catch this, we're going to crush your car. Okay, or do this or do that. Okay, that's understandable. I can agree with that. But that is only half of the solution. Because you're not going to stop it. Kids are going to do it. They're going to run. Now you're putting even more risk out there. So what would be a good solution to this? Get an area, okay, set it up for them so that they can do these things, because they're going to do them anyway, and maybe even charge like 10 or 15 or 20 bucks for them to go in there and join and do it, and make sure there's some paramedics on site in case an accident happens. You know, keep it controlled. Now you have the kids being able to do something they like to do in a more controlled environment. There's more safety there for them to do it, and they can have fun. The thing that I've noticed with our government or representatives we vote into office, they pass laws that take things away from kids. So the only thing that they have out there to do is either really expensive to do, which most can't afford. So now they're going out and getting in trouble because what else they got to do? So you got to come up with some logical ways of not only making something illegal when it's done in certain areas, but give them a place to go do it that makes it safer for them. So these are solutions. You got to think of the whole problem and not just part of the problem. So in closing, if you truly want our streets safer, we've got to get our drivers trained in advanced drivers training. Too many of the people on these roads just do not have the ability to drive correctly. I mean, for example, a police officer, you think he goes and joins the force, goes through the normal training for whatever he needs to learn to do the laws, and then they put him on the street? No. He has to be trained in advanced driving skills before he gets on the street so that he can handle high-speed pursuits and other things that may need critical driving skills. Everybody needs this. Seat time will not do it. So hopefully, we start coming up with better solutions to these challenges. I thank you for your time. I hope this helps educate some people out there. And you all take care and have a very blessed day. Thank you.